going to drone it to your house soon. And you could also get a taste for her no-nonsense advice on her website, whatwouldjudysay.com. She has become an industry in and of itself. And I always ask you this, do you still pinch yourself?
Every morning.
Me too.
Well, first of all, now I pinch myself to make sure I'm still here. That's still here. And then for the wonderful adventure. What a great adventure. I remember I was so fortunate. You were so kind and generous of your time 17 and a half years ago.
Early on.
Early on. And I know I was in awe of the longevity of Larry King Live and the prestige of Larry King Live. There is nothing before, and certainly there won't be anything after, that gave people an opportunity like me to come on and let America know who they were.
Yeah, I didn't know who you were, but boy,
Right.
did I catch on to you. I knew that was going to work. I told you. This,
Yeah.
you couldn't miss because you had it down. Let's get into some subjects, and
Good.
I want to touch on, we'll start in a very serious vein, not that we're going to be comical, but very seriously. Frank Luntz, the political expert and guru for the Republicans, was on the other day on a politicking show we did, and he said he's never seen a time when the country is so low with distrust of everything. Politicians, corporate leaders, media people. There's no elevated person in America. What do you think of that?
What do you think of it? Sad. That's sad commentary for the greatest country in the world. Really. I think that people had some very high hopes 6 years ago when we elected our first black president. I know I certainly did. And things of late haven't been going so well. I think that there has never been, in my recent memories, the divisive nature of and the acerbic nature of the conversation.
Yeah, nobody's a friend.
Yeah, and there's no civility. And I also, and I know that I'm probably going to get lots of mail. Don't send me mail. I don't read negative mail. I also see a lot of mediocre politicians.
Boy.
Just people, you know, that I wouldn't let do mundane things in my house.
There's no Edward Jacksons, there's no Humphreys.
They get elected to high office, and then we're all surprised when everything gets screwed up. And we are enticed as a country, just seems to me, by things that we shouldn't be enticed from. I mean, how do you look? How do you dance? You know, can you do a split? What's your favorite charity? Who cares? What is the gravitas of who you are as a person, and what have you proven? And we elect people who are mayors and governors and senators and representatives. You know, I mean, Larry, if everybody makes a mistake. You have a mayor who is caught smoking a crack pipe or smoking dope or doing whatever, you know, at your favorite motel with a hooker. Well, we're not saying you shouldn't be a forgiving country, people, family, you know, you do your penance, but that doesn't mean you have to elect them again. Do you know, I don't get that.
It was recently the 150th anniversary of the Gettysburg Address, something close to my heart because it was delivered on November 19th, which is also my birthday. And the Lincoln...
my husband's birthday.
November 19th also? Wow. And that's the day of the Gettysburg Address. And the Lincoln Presidential Library Foundation, you wrote an essay in spirit of that address.
I am certainly not a poet, but I figured I could put together 272 words, the exact number of words in the Gettysburg Address. And when I sat down to write it, I think you're going to ask me a couple of questions about it. I thought about the direction of our country, which is where we started this conversation. And I don't see the trajectory moving forward.
What do you think Lincoln would think?
About today?
Today.
I think he would look around and say, this is not what I envisioned for the greatness of America. I think that we revere mediocrity.
But he would also see a black president. He would see black athletes at the University of Alabama.
Well, the question about, that's wonderful. And a black president is wonderful. The question is, was it the right black president? It's the same thing about a woman. You know, I think that, would it be great to have a woman as president of the United States? Absolutely. Only if it was the right woman. So I think that to say, well, the country has moved forward because we have a woman president, or because we have a Latina president, or because we have a black president, that's not the answer. That's not where the focus should be. The focus should be the best. When you had your heart attacks, did you say, I want you to bring me to the best minority heart surgeon you can find? No. You said, bring me to the best heart surgeon in the world. That's what I want for myself. That's what this country should want for themselves. Not the best of something, but the best, period. And I think we have gotten shortchanged.
Some of the advances tell you that some of those surgeons are black.
Wonderful. But notice, you didn't say you wanted a minority president. You said a minority heart surgeon, you said, I want the best.
Coming up, a recent trend is popping up across the country, and it has our favorite judge outraged. We'll talk about that next, right after the break. Our guest is the fabulous Judge Judy, who keeps on keeping on. I'm so proud of all you've attained. This past week, the media has been up in arms about so-called, are you going to help me out with this? What are knockout games?
Knockout games are vicious young people who, for sport, will walk in a group and target somebody. Young, old, older, men, women, and for no other reason other than their viciousness and sport, hit them, hurt them, try to humiliate them, whether by a punch or a slap or a kick, whatever. That's the game. And then they walk away. And
they tape this?
Sometimes they do. I mean, we have seen, I know in Florida, we had 2 instances within the last couple of weeks. One elderly gentleman was tending to his garden and was bent over in his garden, and a group of young women from, I believe, his local basketball team were clowning around, and because they probably heard about this, one of them walked up to him and with full force kicked him in the behind, causing him to fall on his face for no reason. They're not committing criminal acts because they need food or they...
Was it sport?
It's sport.
Okay. New York Police Commissioner Raymond Kelly said we're still trying to determine whether it's a real phenomenon. Are these kids from all classes?
I have no idea. I don't care.
We don't know who the kids are?
Well, we know some of them.
They come from?
You don't know some. I don't care where they come from. I don't care where they come from. A broken home where there's one parent or a half a parent or a quarter of a parent. It is unimportant to the 75-year-old man who was tending his garden, who was injured when kicked in the behind for no reason, or the man who was punched in the face and had a jaw broken. It's irrelevant to me.
So how do you explain it?
You know, I think we've spent too much time trying to... I've been in the justice system now for 40 years. And Larry, I know you and I disagree about this one area of the law. I think we've spent too much time navel-gazing about the whys. How do you explain it? Where do you look? Where do you look for the cause? How do you find the cause? Let's develop a commission. They'll ask the kids why they did it.
You don't want to know why?
It has not. No. They've tried to find out why. We've spent billions of dollars trying to find out why and trying to find a way. Well, if everybody gets a computer and everybody gets a phone, and so you don't have to steal a phone, so we're going to give you a phone, and we're going to give you money for sneakers, and we're going to take away all the incentive for bad behavior. And you still have bad behavior. We're going to give you more. You're the squeaky wheel. So we're going to continue to give you.
But your answer is to give up and just punish him? What
No,
is
not give up. No, not give up. My answer is to try punishment. Pure retribution by society.
Revenge.
Not revenge, retribution. This is what you did. And this is the consequence of what you did. And we're sorry that you maybe didn't have the advantages. Maybe you did. Maybe you had all the advantages, but they gave you the medal even when you came in 6th in the race, and maybe you got a skewed view of life. I don't care. We don't care about that. We care about your conduct. This is black. This is white. This is acceptable. This is not acceptable. This is a green light. This is a red light. You have to know your parameters. And I'm going to tell you something else. You know, this is my hot topic, my hot button topic. There were people when I started my program 18 years ago that could not stand this message because it's a message that I preached in the family court. They hated the message and they tried to kill the messenger. All of the reviews of Judge Judy, she's brash, she's outspoken, she's unsympathetic, she's It's 18 years later, and more people watch Judge Judy, and this isn't a badge for me, but more people watch Judge Judy, as my grandson says, than watch Monday Night Football, because that's what the numbers show. There has to be a reason for that. The vast majority of people in this country are fed up with the navel-gazing and the abuse excuse. I'm depraved on a kind of I'm deprived may have worked at West Side Story, but it doesn't work anymore.
Coming up, does Judge Judy impart tough love on her own children and grandchildren? Does she use it at home? Go away. We're back with Judge Judy. We're both in the internet world. It's the world. We have to accept it. We can't fight it, so I joined it. We all have to join it. Does it have a negative impact?
Sure, people are putting too much information about themselves out there, and your privacy is lost.
How about cyberbullying?
Oh, well, that's nasty. That's nasty. You know, bullying used to stop at the corner of the school, you know. You used to finally get home and you were in a safe haven where your family took care of you, but that's not true anymore because everybody's on the internet. So,
what would you do if you